Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again, and, well, we've got something really special because it's the first bit of real 3.6 marketing I feel like we've gotten since the live stream. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got the post-Lament Anthropocene Stars Intertwined, the sort of like lore breakdown, the background reveal for none other than these, you know, the sort of like Sword Saint, Sword Transcendent, whoever we got going on over here. Qingxiao. And I think the reality over here when it comes to this unit is pretty obvious for a lot of people. The hype surrounding her release and the hype surrounding like her character, it doesn't really feel like it's at the same levels as maybe the past couple of patches. And I think a lot of us could kind of like share the take, man, did Kuroge's forget about her? Because it kind of felt like they did. But don't worry, she's here. And we got some background information available for some of the actions that she was taking in version 3.5, and of course, some of the stuff she's going to be doing in 3.6 onward. And we're desperate for a crumb at this point, right? So let's go ahead, let's break this all down and see, well, what little interesting lore tidbits reveals what's in store for us. First things first, we got Qingxiao. She's got those cyan celestial ribbons and cloud-shaped horns. Oh, okay, yeah, we got some full-on goonery over here. Mountains, rivers, and mists. I'm sure that's what people are paying attention to. And then the glint of the sword, the light in the weave, and then a peace cord. Where the hell does she wear that? Oh, it's on her arm. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it on her wrist over there. So, yeah, I guess they're starting off with the whole like outfit reveal first. This is usually something they save for later. Yeah, that's that one out of the way. All right, now for the more detailed lore breakdown. Let's see what we got going on over here. A reclusive. She's a hermit. Sword cultivator who holds the nominal title of Zhuan Paragon of Zhanfang Hold and a peerless master of both chin and sword. Aloof and distant, she seems untouched by emotion. So kind of like the background of this character is that she is a paragon, right? And paragons are supposed to be like the second strongest in terms of like overall resonator rankings. They're like right underneath a sentinel, as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, the sort of like prestige she's gotten in the story does reflect that. And the whole, like, aloof and, like, emotionless thing, apparently she's been alive for, like, 100+ years, so she's, like, mentally fucked up from that. So, like, yeah, that's like a thing in, like, Eastern media, is, like, the longer you live, like, the more emotionless and, like, weird you are. So that seems to be, like, what she's characterized as. Pretty much on the money there. The world knows her as the Sword Transcendent. That's why she's flying on one. For years beyond counting. She's old. She has stood guard over these lands, and the cold light of her blade remains as keen as the day she first drew it. So this means that her skills haven't dulled over time, and that she's just as strong as she was back then. So it looks like age is not going to be a barrier for her in the future. I think that's what they're trying to say. Who knows? Maybe she will get, like, corrupted or something. Probably would make sense for that to happen in the story, like, when someone's, like, a couple thousand years old. Now we got the key to immortality. How is she this old? The legend that an immortal watches over the land of Zhanfang has circulated for years, and every year it draws pilgrims from all over, hoping to catch a glimpse of her. So, I've said this multiple times before, she's kind of like God. And the kind of like, I guess, weird dynamic of Mengzhou is that it seems like the worship, in a sense, right, of like the Sentinel, it's almost like split between her and Scene. But as far as I'm concerned, I haven't really seen Scene get a lot of like notice in the spotlight, right? She's kind of like hidden away, hiding right now, right? I think that's literally what she's doing in Mengzhou. She's like hiding. So maybe Qingxiao has something to do with that. Who knows? Kind of like the Sentinel's strongest warrior, right? Doing her job for her in a sense. Almost all of them are turned back by the terrain and fog of the eastern Zhuan Peak. Only a rare few ever reach the summit of the Nameless Peak, where Qingxiao makes her home. So she's like Mount Everest, and like I bet they have like Sherpas and stuff that will like take you to the top if you're like not in shape. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they got something like Everest going on over there. Qingxiao rarely shows herself. Instead, she'll send her voice ahead to sound out a visitor's intentions. Oh, she's got like that. Like they've got like the key projection where they can like project their voice. Yeah, that's another thing those guys do. Yeah, to find out a visitor's intentions before deciding whether to appear. If someone has come out seeking genuine help, she consider how to best assist them. But if they've come chasing some secret of immortality or a technique to ascend the heavens, she simply tosses them a little booklet set to contain the key to it all. I see. So she's got a mix of people seeking power and people seeking help. Makes sense. It's only once they're back down the mountain, booklet open, that they discover its secrets are nothing more than everyday health tips. Oh, so she's a little bit like the One Punch Man guy. She's a little bit like that Saitama. Just, yeah, to be as strong as me, one-shot everything in the universe, just do like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, like run like a mile every day, and you'll be good. That's, I assume that's what's going on over here, because, well, let's think about it this way, guys. The journey up here is tough. Right, the journey up here is like hard. That's the main sort of like takeaway. And so like these guys are getting rewarded for this tough journey by like getting a booklet full of useless ass information. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, she's probably pissing a lot of people off. In truth, the booklet is a health guide once compiled by Zhuan Fan's Huashu Academy. She gets a whole box of them at home just for turning away the opportunists. I wonder which one we're gonna be in the story. There are no shortcuts on the path to cultivation. And Qingxiao's own daily routine, as it happens, follows this health guide to the letter. All right, so I guess they really are going for that approach. Yeah, just do all these simple, basic-ass things, and one day you will be as strong as Qingxiao. We're supposed to have like a training arc, so I wonder if these are going to be the tasks that Rever's going to be doing for like the first time in their life. One with nature. Qingxiao, who spends most of her time in quiet cultivation on the mountain, seems to be something of a favorite among its animals. When she walks a mountain path, the creatures she passes by are never startled. If anything, they draw closer to her. Okay, so she's a little bit like Chikona. Okay, she's a little bit like Chikona. They what's it called? They have an affinity with nature, which kind of like makes sense because she's a recluse. I think she hangs out with animals more than people. When she sits in meditation, small animals often gather at her side. It's not unnatural for her to open her eyes after hours of stillness to find birds perched across her shoulders and on the top of her head, with rabbits and foxes dozing peacefully nearby. All right, so like I think the main takeaway from this is that they probably got to have some sort of like meetup between all of like the animal people. Like Phoebe's got like does she have like a gerbil or something? She's got like a rat, right? I think Phoebe's got like a rat or something like that. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it's like one of these little fucking things. Yeah, she's got like one of those. Yeah, I think the best way to describe this is a rat. I don't know what that is.
Who's a good boy?
Yeah, it's a boy. There you go. It's a rat boy. So, yeah, my take is that like we need to get like all the people that probably be having like the animals in like their idle animations. They need like a hangout. Yeah, they need like a hangout or something. But there's probably more. There's probably more on top of that. To the animals, Qingxiao seems like a part of nature itself, and her chin, like the very sound of heaven and earth, because she plays like instruments and shit. When she plays atop the peak, the creatures of the mountain seem to answer her. Snow cranes wheel through the sky. Okay, all right. So, yeah, no, she's basically like a DPS version of Chikona. That's probably the best way to describe it. She really just seems like Chikona.
The divinity may facilitate
if she wanted to do like a lot of damage.
They can predict which song people will play tomorrow.
I think that's the best way to go about it. They're really going in on like the instruments and the animals over here. Check her idols. Ooh, okay, all right. What does she have? Does she summon animals too? Oh no, she summons a fucking guitar. Yeah, no, that's a big one. Is that all she does? The third one's a deer? No, that's still the guitar. Where are you telling me she's about to go summon? Oh my fucking god. Anyways, well, yeah, she does that. So, I did not know she could do that. Occasionally lost. Oh no, is she one of those? She's okay. All right. This basically just means she's like a severely autistic savant, right? All right. Yeah. No. Now I know she's got something going on up there. Yeah. She's one of those savants. All right. Yeah. Directionally challenged, huh? The people of the land of Zhuangfang will sometimes see Qingxiao descend from the sky on her flying sword. You don't remember this scene, right? You remember this one right here? You're a little bit like that, right? Dropping down beside them like a deity come to earth, only for her to politely ask for directions. Oh, so she probably did this a couple of times on the way here. Yeah, she's kind of like, oh, wait, where's Zhuangfang home? Wait, there are like people dying over there, shit. Oh, fuck, okay. The truth is, Qingxiao has no real sense of direction. That she rarely gets lost traveling. between her mountaintop training hall and the rest of the Zhuangfang comes down to two things: years of familiarity with the route and the wide open view sword flight offers her, letting her simply fly over whichever's in the way. On the ground, she loses her bearings easily, which is why she always carries a map and a compass. I see. All right. So that is like literally the lore reason for why she was like late to this fight is she might have gotten fucking lost. She like literally might have gotten lost. That's if true, that's crazy because there are like soldiers that died here because she got lost. Like I hope you do realize that. Like there are like people are dying here because she got lost. That's okay. All right. Yeah, that's kind of the opposite of Aura Farming to me. On the ground, though, she loses her bearings easily, which is why she always carries a map and compass. Most of the time, she's grown used to drifting like duckweed on water, going wherever the moment takes her and ending up where she ends up. Yeah, no, she is. Yeah, there's something wrong with her. It's only in an emergency that she pushes her senses to her limits to make out the way ahead, so as to not lose precious time. All right, so she's kind of like she's literally degaff. Long ago, Qingxiao even misjudged her bearings mid-flight. She meant to head for a mountain pass in Changzhou and somehow ended up landing in the lands of Zhuangfang instead. So, like, is her being in Zhuangfang just an accident as a whole? And she was just like, fuck it, I don't know how to leave. So, like, is it actually like she just came here on accident, couldn't find the way out, just was like, fuck it, I'll just chill here. And then she's just been here for, like, 100+ years? Dude, this is true. She's truly, like, stupid and lazy. Like I don't know what else, dude. She's like actually dumb and lazy. Like they kind of gave us like an idiot. I don't know. She kind of like gives me like she kind of gives me like idiot vibes. Like I feel like she's gonna say some dumbass shit in the story. I feel like she's gonna be socially awkward as hell. Say some weird ass shit. Yeah, no, I think she might actually be like prime 100-year-old hag maxing girl failure vibes. Yeah, no, she seems like the Wuxia equivalent of like the dumb blunt. We'll find out. All right. But I feel like this story has potential to be very funny. Potential to be extremely funny and like slice of like lifey in like a good way because she's just gonna be so stupidly goofy. Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I kind of like this character more now because she seems so unserious. Qingxiao's expertise isn't limited to the sword, martial arts then and now. She studied other martial arts closely as well, and they all share a common thread, and studying them often brings her fresh insight. She's occasionally sat in as a spectator at contests in Mengzhou, seeing how the state of the art developed. Ooh, are we gonna get a martial arts character? We're gonna start fisting some people in the Tower of Adversity? That'd be kind of crazy. At the Martial Arts Championship a few years back, Qingxiao turned down a seat in the guest of honor section and instead watched for the general seating, as young fighters from every school and sect traded blows on stage. Something about that seemed to trace a line clear back through the ages. She recognizes the bones of their techniques from long before, each move traceable to its root. Okay, yeah, no, she is super, she's got the super tismo. The only difference was back then, she hadn't been in the stand, she had been on the stage. For a moment, she found herself missing the feel of crossing swords with a real opponent. I wonder if there's anybody else that's like still alive that she like knows. Like, does she have any friends? Like, from back then? Like, back in the day? Or, like, did everyone else just die? Surely she's not the only one that found the secret to immortality, right? Like, there's no way she's the only one, right? Like, what about everybody else? Is everybody else in Zhuangfang just a failure? Like, what's happening here? Oh, Muyu? Oh, okay. All right. Great. Muyu's great. That's the only motherfucker. Wow. That's awesome. That's just great. Wow, what a lovely existence. Is she the only person she knows from back in the day is the Kurt villain, who reminds me more of like a Saturday morning cartoon character. Like bro, I would imagine seeing Muyu in fucking Scooby-Doo, bro. She got a Scooby-Doo villain as her only friend. Awesome. All right, now we got the cherished item. Oh, a book. Records of Huanglong Tacit Discords. Oh, it's kind of like a monster hunting book. That's kind of cool. Published by the Pioneer Association, Records of Huanglong Tacit Discords catalogs several hundred kinds of Tacit Discords. Yo, can we get the book too? Because like there aren't 100 TDs in the game. From across the cities of Huanglong, where they range, how they'll behave, and what they are capable of, and how to handle them. Practical as these things go, it has remained in print for generations, and since the original's language proved rather impenetrable to readers outside of Huanglong, so they say Chinese is hard to understand. A simplified edition follows. Yeah, no, I think they're trying to say traditional Chinese is very hard to understand. Which is, I think everyone also agrees traditional Chinese is extremely hard to understand. A simplified edition followed. Makes sense. A few explorers or travelers arrive in Huanglong without a copy, tucked away somewhere. We should have one of these books. Now that I'm being reminded of this. Yeah, we should probably have one of these, right? Rumors hold that Qing, the book's mysterious author. She does that. Okay, all right. She's the author of the book. That makes a lot of sense. So like she's super autistic. I think that's the main characterization. If it wasn't obvious already from this character, she's giga autistic, and I think that's like her main design. Giga introverted, doesn't want to talk to anybody, hangs out with animals more, and like writes books. And that's like her main thing. All right, there you go. Oh, and instruments too, I forgot. Instruments too. And not talking to people. Like literally avoiding people. Qingxiao's hobby. Outside of cultivation, I often spend time setting down my memories and reflections. Ah, I see. So yeah, this is the whole book thing. And since mastering the air of mid-air calligraphy, I rarely use paper and ink. Instead, I channel my sword energy to carve the past into my inner landscape. This is the most autistic way to say that you have a diary. She basically just has a diary, and like she said she's doing this instead to like. Yeah, so what I did was I channeled my sword energy to carve the past into my inner landscape. What is etched there endures. Like, bro, this is some... bro, this is like some fucking D&D shit. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this, bro? Alright. These horns emerged alongside my Forte. They have been this way for... Oh, actually, one thing that I want to talk about is... Whatever the fuck she's saying, power she has, I think Chu Yan actually knows how to do that shit too. He, like, writes in the air. No, that's just him. That's just him being an alcoholic. No, that's not the right one. Oh, no. No, never mind. The alcoholism is how he does it. So I think he knows how to do it too. Only when he's drunk, I guess. Like I assume that's how it works, right? I think he's got the sword energy as well. How does he write when he's blind? You asking questions that you don't want answers to. Qingxiao's concern, her horns. These horns emerged alongside my Forte, because she's kind of like a dragon, right? They've been this way for a century, but lately they seem to be growing. Another few inches and I might find it difficult to adapt. All right, so yeah, she kind of has gotten like dragon horns, I guess. And I assume they're just going to grow permanently. So like in like 100 years, is she just going to be like fucking 400 feet tall? Like what's going on over here? That sounds difficult. And now thoughts. Centuries have passed since I last journeyed the land of Huanglong. Much must have changed. Centuries, bro. How fucking old is this bitch? Once matters here are settled, I thought she was like 500 max, but now it seems like 1,000 plus. But once matters here are settled, I intend to travel again, perhaps to distant realms, or the places you have been since you long awakened. They say a certain blessed maiden of Verticida learned her swordcraft from the tides. Wait, are they like, did they literally bring up Cardathea in Qingxiao's thing, like knowing they're both arrow sword characters? All right, that's funny. If I could meet her, I imagine I would return with a great deal to reflect upon. I think you both would have a great deal to reflect on. A, how bad an arrow sword character's kit can be, and B, she'll reflect on how good an arrow character sword kit can be. Yeah, all right, that's fascinating. Good reference in there, Kuro Games. They know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, that's a little bit on the nose. They know they're cannibalizing some of their Sentinel Resonators. That's just a formal admission of it right there. Now we got the Forte examination report. And I feel like this one's going to be really interesting because it might give us clue for how she is immortal. From the Ministry of Sentinel Affairs, submitted for the review of the Mengzhou Magistrate. Who the fuck is the Mengzhou Magistrate? Isn't Jinzi the Jinzhou Magistrate, the Sentinel, right? Who the fuck is the Mengzhou Magistrate then? On the establishment of an additional Zhuan Paragon post in the land of Zhuanfang. Mengzhou Magistrate? That's not, I don't know who that's supposed to be. Xin is the Sentinel. Jue is the Sentinel Jinzhou. And what's it called? Is it the white-haired guy? The old guy, right? Yeah, there was like this old dude that showed up in 3.5, right? Like the old Martial Master looking motherfucker with like the white hair, the long white hair. Was it that dude? He was a general? Okay, I guess we don't fucking know who this is supposed to be. Like, we'll find out at some point. So yeah, because Jinxie is the Jinzhou magistrate. So I don't know who this is supposed to be. The man, because she's the Zhuang Fang. You get what's going on over here, right? There's a missing person here. At the Ministry of War's request, Huazhu Academy has verified that her history of residence exceeds 100 years and that its origins are all but untraceable. The pair of horns upon her head, shaped like a drifting cloud, is a physical trait manifested by that residence and may be related to the all-knowing auspicious beast recorded in the Grand Library. So is it basically like she's been alive for giga long, but only been a resonator for 100 years? I think that's the point. She didn't even have her resonance powers until 100 years ago. I think that's what they're trying to say, but she's been alive for obviously like 500 plus. So like she's been kind of like popping off before being, yeah, I think a lot of people are probably getting into the same. Somebody said it in chat. This might just be it. She's like a dragon before who became a human 100 years ago. That seems like it makes the most sense. She's like a former dragon that gained like human form, and that's just what she's been for the past 100 years. Because I don't know how the fuck else anything else makes sense. I don't know how anything else makes sense. Because like Ling Yang is a tiger that became human. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's like a dragon that became human. Because what else even makes sense in the lore? She just randomly pops up 100 fucking years ago. She's like Gigatismo. I'd assume that. Right? And I think they're talking about the auspicious beast, maybe because that's like her or something. Yeah, maybe the auspicious beast is like one of her kin. Oh, and we have to go kill a dragon in this story. And that's like that's one of like her old kin or some shit like that. Yeah, I would like it got corrupted by Muyu and we have to go kill it. That's probably what's gonna happen. Qingxiao's mastery lies in the heart sword. By forging her very thoughts into sword intent, she can instantly manifest 10,000 flying blades that answer to her will, purging all evil wherever they fall. Yeah, no, this is, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, so it's like, you see all the big swords? They're surrounded by little swords. You got the big swords and then all the little swords around them. So like, that's easily, I think I'd assume around 10,000, if not more. Though her swordcraft was learned blade in hand, it has long since carried her beyond the confines of wrought steel. A plucked string, a drifting petal, a falling leaf, to her, any of these may become a sword. Okay, so this just lends more credence to the fact I think she should have been a rectifier character. Yeah, when her whole thing is that she's transcended the confines of needing a sword to be a sword, why is she not a rectifier user? Because, like, the big thing about her is that I feel like she, like, summons swords and attacks people with them. It kind of would have made more sense for her not to, you know, the formless blade, that's, like, the point, is that you don't need to use a sword to cut things anymore. So, like, her being a rectifier feels like it would have been more appropriate. That's my personal take. That's my personal take. Because she's so good with the sword, she doesn't need one anymore. That's, like, that's a big thing. That's also a big thing in the wuxia. In the wuxia media. Yeah, that's a big thing there as well, guys. The Quietude art, along with other techniques she has demonstrated, is believed to be part of the esoteric craft cultivators use to modulate frequencies via their Forte. Okay, what the fuck is this nerdy ass shit? Okay, alright, so I guess you could do some fucking cultivation shit to improve your Forte. That's probably what we're going to be doing at some point. And now we got the magistrate's reply. I have long heard that her swordcraft is divine and her power formidable. This should be a blessing for the land of Zhuangfang, and as the document comes submitted through the Ministry of Sentinel Affairs, I presume it carries her instruction. It does. There's no need for concerned magistrate. Who the fuck is the magistrate? Bro, now I'm just wondering, who is this magistrate that they're talking about over here? Bro, is it Shuo Ming? Bro, is fucking Shuo Ming the magistrate? That's all I can fucking assume at this point. Who else is it supposed to... Bro, we don't have any more fucking characters left. It's just Scene and Shuo Ming left for Meg Zhou, unless there's like a secret release popping up before 4.0. I don't know, man. Yeah, I suppose, right? Because Scene's the Sentinel, right? There's nobody else left, bro. Overclock diagnostic report. I don't think she can overclock because, again, I'm thinking she's a dragon. This isn't Meng Zhou. Okay, guys. So, if we're just gonna get basic information wrong because we can't fucking read, let's not type in the chat. It says right here, Meng Zhou Magistrate. Guys, like, we don't need to announce disability. Go do that with your government office, not my Twitch channel. All right? Overclock diagnostic report. A recent overclock assessment report issued by the Huazhu Academy says the subject is a natural resonator. Raybell's curve holds constant in the time domain, presenting a steady curve with... Okay, basically, she's not gonna fucking overclock. Stability is assessed as high. No prior history. No... Yeah, that's because I don't think she's human. Yeah, that's because I don't think she's actually human. That's probably why she's, like, giga-stable. And now you got the physician's note. The curve hugs the threshold. The peaks climb toward the ceiling, yet they never cross it. Ah... Remarkable. An ordinary resonator would tip into overclocking at the slightest swell of feeling, they say. And they say cultivators temper their mind to study their forte. Yeah, no, I think she's a dragon that became human and she has like special cultivation techniques because she's used to be a dragon. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's what it is. And then we're gonna probably learn some of them. That's what I think is going on over here. A million %. Could Qingxiao, the perfected, be doing this on purpose? It could also be she's pretending on these tests. She seems to be strong enough to like control all of her frequencies exactly the way that she wants. What if they're actually so much stronger than like is being shown over here and she's just like pretending to be human? Or she's just pretending to have human frequencies? Because I feel like them saying this is kind of leading into that. That, like, the results are too stable. That's the implication, I think, from a statement like this. Now we got some of the animations, the character menu, all of that. Okay, so we just got her doing her little Irelia shit over there. Now we got her playing her instruments. Like I said before, she's got to have the ensemble cast with some of the rest of the musicians on the roster. And then we got her caveat animation. I'm not going to lie, this caveat animation is like, It's a little... I think it's a little lukewarm. I feel like I've seen better ones. It looks good, bro. I legitimately think it's one of the... It's one of like the lowest quality... It's like one of the lowest quality ones we've had recently, bro. Like, bro, you remember this one? Oh, this is such low. This is the bro. The audio is ass. I'm gonna mute the audio because it's booty cheeks. Like this was a year ago, by the way. Bro, like this was a year ago. So I don't care. I'm gonna call the other ones dog shit. When this was a year ago. Lupa clears too? Oh yeah, bro. Lupa's is also badass. That's like, it's like shorter and sweeter. Like this is what I mean. Like some of them are just so much better. Oh, do you want the Wujiao one? Hey, let's get the Wujiao one, bro. Let's get the Wujiao one out here. That one was cooler too. Let's be honest. Come on, guys. And that's what I mean. I'm simply a little bit disappointed by that one. Oh, but the ult looks cool though. Oh, but yeah, let's see the ult. This is what I'll say. I'm not sure how I feel about you playing an instrument for her ult. This is what I mean by, like, does she look like a sword user? If her strongest attack is her fucking hitting a chord. Like it's fucking Guitar Hero. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is why I said she shouldn't have been a sword user, because she isn't even using a sword here on her strongest attack. Do you guys feel bodied yet? Because now everything I just said makes way more sense, right? Yeah, maybe she shouldn't have been a sword user because she's not using a fucking sword. That's going to be the whole Qingxiao lore reveal. That's going to be the whole thing. I think the character as a whole is like a bit of a mishmash. And in a lot of ways, I feel like she's not entirely what people were expecting from like an archetype like this. She kind of like just gives me those vibes of like, yeah, not really like human, giga autistic, like really, you know, like the whole like hermit sort of like deal. And her characterization just seems like, yeah, she's a little bit like clueless, and like, I think that's meant to be like her appeal. And I guess the thing is that it's a little bit surprising compared to what we saw in 3.5. It is a little bit expected in a way, and I'm just hoping that her character, as she's integrated into the story, is just, they lead more into like the comedic side, because I think that's kind of like the only path for her. Like, she's got to be goofy, and I hope her questline is like legitimately, it feels more like a fucking, like, I feel like it needs to feel more like a Sigrika type of quest than like a 3.1 type of quest. Does that make sense? Like, we find, like, it's got to feel like kind of like slice of lifey the quest. Like, we find out why she like is getting lost from like random shit like that. I think that's where they need to go with the story, right? Because I can't take her seriously. If they try to tell like a giga serious story with this super unserious character, I don't know what's going to happen, because I cannot take her seriously at all. But maybe that's the point. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.